Oh, I accidentally just closed my entire video because I'm so upset about those photos. So I had to restart it. Now I'm gonna have to clip two together. Anyways, this girl groomed him. You won't. This isn't the first time I read that to you that they found on the video. It's not the first time she said this. She said it to other people. It was written many times to Nicholas. It was talked about several times to Nicholas. And I want to talk about the 2026 Alaska and the Euchre. I know it's Euchre, but I'm going Urker because it is more fitting. No Ring Blanchard is not a Euchre. She likes to think she is, but you're not, Gypsy. Hold on. Really fast. I need to look. I haven't checked today actually, but somebody got a response back from Ben Bella Books, and this is what they're saying about the second version, the re-release of her first book. It's coming out in paperback, but the content is essentially the same. That's not what Gypsy's saying. She's changing it. Gypsy also said in her live with Bree that she doesn't have to do a different audio. Like she doesn't have to go back and record anything new for this re-release of the book. The version where the inconsistencies are corrected, because they already had her do that day. I'm confused. What? Gypsy, how are you going to fix these narratives then? Because that's not what. If this company, I had a feeling that this would happen. Melissa Moore, I don't care for Melissa Moore. She's about as good as Gypsy, so yeah, that's probably what we're all going to get. We're all going to get that back. Yeah. Woohoo. Oh yeah, also while she was at the mall, dude, she loves this Reebok outfit. I see her in this, like, is that the only off the shoulder shirt she can find? I mean, the Walmart Reebok shirt, I don't, it's her fave. Her fave. I guarantee you this thing ain't washed either. But look, she got some girlies to take photos with. Is why this girl should still be behind bars. This is the people that she's influencing and pretty much saying what she did is okay. Yeah. This is why I have an issue with her too. Also, look at her arm. Unscathed, not affected, but look at that arm, how it's bent. You know, the muscular, skeletal issues. She definitely has a limp in her walk when she walks. A waddle, a swaddle, a duck. I don't know, but she definitely has issues in her hips or her feet, her legs, something. Something. Okay, so I want to, before I show, I think everybody's probably already seen her t-shirts, the one of her and Aurora's matching sizes and the same. She even changed that Instagram post from what it said. And I want to get into this because it is ridiculous. But I've always heard, well, Gypsy is banned at Disney. I've never seen proof of that. But I do want to show you the terms and conditions of, it's a DAS, Disability Access Service Form. It's a program at Disney, right? And you get these forms and it's used there. It's not like one for Walt Disney World is not valid at Disneyland. It's only where it was issued, and it would be for the length of the year of your ticket, or I mean, valid for the length of your ticket or up to 1 year, whichever is shorter. However, false information obtaining that disability um, access service form that Gypsy got. If it is determined that false information was given, if it's determined that any statement made to obtain DAS is not true, the guest will be permanently banned from both Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort, and all passes will be forfeited. Um, we don't know. I mean, we could say a lot about that, right? She knew her age and lied about that and got her second or third. She got three. One was from a Girl Scout troop, one was from another organization that was like Make a Wish, but she had DAS forms for every single time she went to Disney. She said, I went to Universal Studios in LA when I went with Ken. Why would I be banned from Disney? Well, you do have to go into Disney, and you would actually have to be trespassed, and you have to sign that. I hope you do go to Disney. And I do think that everyone should write Disney and tell them that she falsified her disability. It is fake, so that she isn't allowed back into Disney World. That is fair. It is not fair that she took wishes from other kids. She's like, I can't help it that I was 10 years old. Your other trips, you weren't 10 though, Gypsy. You weren't 10. The Girl Scouts raised money for you to have your second trip or third. I don't know. The last trip you took, your mother didn't pay for that either. This came out of your mouth. You got one from Make a Wish, one from Girl Scouts, and another organization that was just like Make a Wish, but it wasn't Make a Wish. And if this was from the Girl Scouts, I don't believe it was. I do not. I believe that that was when she was younger. That was the second trip. The third trip was from the third Make a Wish. It wasn't Make a Wish. I made a video on it. I don't remember the name of it now. I'm sorry. I know I should have went back. I'm just remembering it though. Um, you went in February, March, April, May, June. 4 months before you took your mother's. It was 3 months before you took your mother's life. You went. Your mother was taken out of the theme park by ambulance. That's how unhealthy she was, and you didn't care. You did not care. You sat there with your smug little look at Disney World. You could see the evil ooze out of her. I'll show you. Huh? There she is in her Little Mermaid. I think they were at like SeaWorld or something for this, or I don't know what they were watching. I really don't know. I won't say that, but that's her Ariel. Look. Look at her. Look at her. I can just smell it through the screen. Um, I'm sorry. I'm going to be nice. I can't be doing that. I can't. But Gypsy was almost 24 years old when she went on her last Disney trip. And she absolutely did get a DAS form, because it even states that Dee Dee told them when she got there she wanted it to be the most special occasion, no photos with the wheelchair, and that she would pick her up and set her down so that her photos wouldn't be in the wheelchair. They would all be taken. She was very specific about this now. And I think this is when she got to meet the cast of, I don't know, that might have been the second trip, but I think the Royal Mashed Potatoes and the trip of Lord of the Rings. Let me see when Lord of the Rings came out. Hold on. I have to look. Let me look. Lord of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Let's see. What does Wikipedia say? No, I don't. I don't want to donate. What? No. Okay, so that came out in 2001. Wait, what? Hmm. So that definitely would have made it the second trip that she did where she met the cast of The Lord of the Rings because she um, met Elijah Wood. She got to meet Elijah Wood and the other cast members. So, yeah, uh, that would be the second one. But I do know on the last trip, Dee Dee wanted her to be treated as special as could be. Um, it's almost like Dee Dee knew it was ending for them. I just don't think she thought it was going to be. I do. You know, by this time, Gypsy had already taken a BB Pew Pew and tried to take her mom out, and she thought it was real. Don't say you didn't, Gypsy, because you sat right there in the interview with Mommy, Dad, and Dearest and said you thought that that Pew Pew was real. And you were like, oh, thank God I didn't. But in your book, you said Honey and Sweetie, I think is what you called it. Honey and Baby were now equals. Okay, no. You're always more aggressive, in my opinion. Friends are talking about it. Your people have talked about how you treated children, people that were in the pageants with you. Look at everything this girl did. Let's go look at their Instagram post. Oh my God, y'all. This is by Dangerous Value 8380 on the Snark Reddit group, and we can see the Urker t-shirts. There's Aurora, Gypsy, and Kian. Look at that. They're the same size. You're not an Urker, no ring Blanchard. Are you pressuring him to marry you? I mean, mm, I would never want to enter a marriage where I felt like I trapped or forced somebody to. Even though Kim refuses to see that she was never on birth control and she did trap him, she lied. And then goes on to say, I don't want him to be with me just because of the baby. When that's exactly what she meant. But let's see what she had to say in this post. I'm sorry, it's just so funny. Okay. It says, oh, our little family has a magical Christmas plan for 2026. Why not 2025? Okay, that's so weird. This time I get to experience the joy of planning it, saving for it, and paying for it myself as a mom, creating memories for my daughter. It feels really full circle in the best way. Family Christmas 2026. Hashtag. I say it after because I don't want to give her any. I don't want it to pick up the. I don't know. I just will put the hashtag at the end because I don't want her getting the hashtag. I don't know. This is what she said originally. Here's the second. We're planning a magical Christmas for 2026. That's it. As a I'm kidding, there's more. As parents, Ken and I get to experience the joy of planning, saving, and paying for it ourselves, creating memories for our daughter. It feels really full circle in the best way. Okay, I think Ken got upset that she put just she was paying for it because now he's working. He's on a boat. He's working hard like Rod. Sorry. Um, I also think that no matter what, Gypsy, you're not paying for it. This is what angers me. If you hadn't taken your mother's life or faked your illnesses or lied on your test that we've proven, not Dee Dee, you, the doctor said you faked your symptoms. You exaggerated your symptoms. You lied about your symptoms and you lied on tests, not your mom. You, you, nobody else but you. You got those trips. You had 3 trips to Disney. 3 handed to you, given to you. All money was raised for them, for you. Your mom didn't save and take you. Don't change the story. I sat and listened to you in a live say there was 2 organizations. One was Make-A-Wish, one was similar to Make-A-Wish, and then the local Girl Scouts saved and had you sent to the trip with the Lord of the Rings so you could meet them, etc. Stop lying. Unless that was Universal. Maybe the Lord of the Rings was at Universal. Maybe that's where I'm getting confused. And Universal has probably the same policy. I don't think she should be in Universal either, honestly. I don't. You lied. The problem I have with this, Gypsy, is you now are making money doing conning because it is a con. You wouldn't be known. You would not have this story and this exactly what it is. It is a story. It's not a memoir. It's a story you fabricated full of lies. The Book of Lies is what it should be called. You took a life and you turn around and you are making money off of your mother's MURDER that you committed. You started on your mother. No one will ever convince me this. Y'all can keep saying it to me all you want. I do not believe that Nicholas did all that by himself. Whether she did it with him when he was in there, I don't know, but you please explain to me the splatter and spatter on the kitchen, all down the hallway walls, all over the kitchen cabinets, on both sides of the kitchen. Why is there spatter marks all in there? Why is there drops everywhere on the countertops, in the kitchen floor, when she already cleaned it now? She cleaned it. I do think Nicholas came back in. That little cut, it didn't even need a little stitch, not even one. It wasn't even, it had a clear bandage on it, and you couldn't see you couldn't see nothing. Nothing. I think he had the OOD on him from going in there, absolutely, and doing that. But I don't think his actual cut bled. I don't believe that. The big white movie screen sheet that they use for the projector movies was on Dee Dee's window. Not one single, I'm going to keep saying this because eventually it will keep getting picked up. I do not understand why they stopped processing evidence just because Nick confessed. That they should have processed everything still. They should have. I feel like they should have luminoled the house, because if they would have did that, they would have seen a trail from the kitchen to the bedroom. Or explain why all this splatter was in the kitchen, over countertops, above the stove, the sink, on the hallway. Why? Why was it there? I truly believe she started on Dee Dee before Nick got there. I think that's why she wasn't responding to Nick when he was on the bus and he was getting angry. because she wasn't replying back. I absolutely will not ever shut up about this. I will die on this hill. You are making money off of the murder of your mother, Gypsy, that you committed. You planned, plotted, pretty much paid Nick to come do it. And you're bragging that you get to pay for it for save and pay yourself from the money that you are getting from taking a life? She wasn't abused. The proof is being put out there. It keeps getting put out there. It keeps getting debunked. Her lies debunked. Debunked. She was sick. She was born with microcephaly. She was born with a genetic disease. They just didn't know what it was. They figured it out. Science finally figured out this genetic. She didn't have just one marker from the 1q21.1 microdeletion. She had 22 markers it affected from the microdeletion. She was scathed by this. The dental work, proven over and over and over again. We've shown she eats through every picture. She's got food. Everybody said she had always had snacks in her lap in the wheelchair. Juices, candy, snacks. The day before, Dee Dee's hobbling through the hospital to go get her feeding tube changed, and they stop at a Pepsi machine. The same drink that Gypsy drinks, y'all. That same drink that was sitting on the tub in the bathroom with the razor where she shaved her legs before Nick got there, and she texted him, "I'm shaving my legs. I'm getting all ready." She wasn't in the bathroom shaving. She'd already done all that. That was a lie. I noticed that Dee Dee's door was in, like, the utility closet. If her door was there, I didn't see it, but there is a door in the utility closet. I think that was Dee Dee's door, honestly. That's what I think. But Gypsy had a door. Gypsy had a door in her room. Yeah. You're planning and plotting. And also, I'm not seeing anywhere where Gypsy said she's taking a cruise to go to Alaska. If she is, good luck. Good luck. If she's not flying straight into Alaska, I don't know how she's getting there, because she will never get on a cruise and step off. Once she gets on that cruise, though, they will be stopping her and they will be detaining her. You are not allowed in Canada for the felony of any, especially a violent crime. Especially. Google's free. So I don't know. I don't know if I believe the cruise thing. She, of course, held up Alaska. I think her and Ken are going to Alaska. I think they have Disney planned for the baby. That's going to be their Christmas. Also, Ken said they're having Thanksgiving here in Louisiana this year, and then Christmas with his mom. They're doing it different. Is there trouble in paradise? Why couldn't Raina come to Ken and the entire fam get together? Because there's trouble in paradise. I did see Mia at her daddy's land that they own, that they bought from Dee Dee's money also. He owns a hunting and it's a hunting lodge, like hunting and fishing. They're on that land right now. It's in Missouri, I think. Missouri is where they bought it, or Louisiana. It's definitely in Louisiana or Missouri, I saw. But they're on that land right now. And she's shooting a crossbow. It's hunting season, y'all. You can see Gypsy there. You can't convince me that Rod even looks at Gypsy as like an actual daughter. I don't see him interacting with that baby like I would think. Wait till Mia has her baby. Just saying. You're talking about a man who gave up, who lied to Dee Dee. Let's get this straight too. Yes, Dee Dee was 23, I think, when she met. Was she 21 or 23 when she met Rod? Rod lied to her, though, and told her he was 21 or 22. That part always gets left out. Just, oh, Dee Dee, she was looking at dating underage boys. Rod lied to her, knocked her up instantly. They get married. They're together for like, I don't know, she was 3 months pregnant, if that says anything. So they probably were together a total of 4 or 5 months at the most. On his birthday, gets up, leaves, and goes straight to Christie's. Leaves Christie's and then sleeps with this other woman because I guess him and Christy had a spat. Gets this woman pregnant 6 months after he gets Dee Dee pregnant. Nicolette is born 6 months after Gypsy is born. Then he gets back with Christy and she gets pregnant with Dylan. And then Mia comes. The only kids he ever claimed or took care of was Dylan and Mia. He gave up complete custody of Nicolette. Tell me you're a great father, Ron. Tell me again. I don't want to hear it. You were behind. It was court ordered. You can't sit and lie about a court order. I know, my ex. I married a man who used me and my kids, stole my income tax for 4 years. I thought he owed the IRS. You know, we met, we got married. He was a pathological liar. I'm telling you, lied about everything. Was never wrong, could never say sorry, never take accountability. It reminds me so much of Gypsy. This is my second marriage, by the way. My 2 youngest sons and I were living with him because I was married. And let me tell you, before we got married, that this man was a different person. He worked a great job, was definitely obsessed with me and spoiled, like he love bombed me, right? We were together for 2 years, get married. He was already doing his taxes and claiming me and my boys the first year we met, and I didn't like that. I wasn't even asked. But okay, I wasn't working. I was coming straight from what happened with me and my trauma, to be honest with you. He was a friend, a family friend, honestly. I lived beside of him as a child. I knew him personally and I trusted him enough. We talked and he asked for my number to call and I gave it to him. I'm shocked. And I went out with him and we weren't apart after. And I just thought, I was in a really bad place at that time of my life, thinking I was never going to be in a relationship. I was going to be alone for the rest of my life because I'd never trust, right? No, I found this amazing guy who just love bombed me and was so good to my kids. And he asked me to marry him, and I say yes. And about 3 months before the wedding, because we finally set our date 5 months prior. I just wanted to do it. I was just like, oh gosh, we're going to get married. I want to get married too. This is love. Somebody love bombing me like this, being so good to my kids. My kids loved him until we married. But I seen some red flags sooner. And I was in pretty much, I paid for my entire wedding. And I didn't even hardly have money. I made everything. But he worked in the coal mines in West Virginia. The thing about the taxes, what I'm trying to get to you, he said that there was a W-2 is left out, H&R Block didn't file it, and his ex from before didn't file their taxes while he was away working, and she had to sign them and return them, and she never did, and he got fined. And they added, and I do know that happens because it happened to my mom. And this is way back when I was married in my first marriage. And they fined my mother like, I think it was like $15,000 for I think it was a W-2 for Um, oh crap, hold on. Oh my God. I don't know why I switched to that. I'm telling, anyways, it was like $500. It was, she worked at Burger King or somewhere. It was a restaurant. And she'd only worked there for a month or so. It wasn't even a lot, or a couple weeks. I don't remember because she went to work somewhere else. But they left that out of her other W-2s, and they didn't find it for 7 years and or 5 years. They fined her $15,000. Well, he said he owed like $32,000 from the fines, and they just kept adding it on because he wasn't paying the balance off, even though he had an agreement with them, an arrangement. And I was always so confused every year that we would file taxes and he would work jobs, but only jobs that was enough to make his vehicle payment and his insurance, if that. I paid for rent, our utilities, our food, everything. For the first 3 years, we got zero income tax back. And he was claiming me and my kids, right? So we got earned income plus my child tax credits. And then finally, that fourth year, or third year, I can't remember, we finally got back like $9,000 in taxes. And he didn't let me have a dime, even though he claimed me and my boys, because he said he owed his mother $7,000. Mind you, he did stop working. He did. He stopped working when we got married. It was definitely not what I thought. He was horrible to my kids, very, very cruel to my kids. And I hadn't even gotten my kids Christmas that year and promised them when I got the income tax that year that they would get whatever they wanted for Christmas. I didn't know that I could have said, no, he can't use. This is what it was, though. I know I'm rambling. I'm sorry, I'm a rambler. Bottom line is, he had that card when we filed taxes. He always kept that card. He didn't really think nothing of it until the day he got the income tax return, because we both got an email. And he didn't give me the card. And I didn't get one dime of that income tax return, not one dime of that $9,000. And I didn't know it, but I had already left. About 5 months later, 5 or 4 months later, I ended up leaving because I was tired. I was tired of taking care of somebody who wouldn't let me drive their vehicle and made me walk to go grocery shopping, or if I needed to go somewhere, I had to walk there. There was a lot, but that man kept if he wouldn't have used me and my two boys, he would have only gotten around $800. I was there when, they did it. The earned income is what got him so much more money, and my child tax credits was what got him so much money back. I didn't get a dime. He said he owed his mother $7,000 for helping him because he didn't work. Those past 2 years, he would barely work. And she was making his truck payments, and they would go trade his vehicle and not even tell me. I was helping him make that truck payment till he said I couldn't drive it. Cool. It just went so weird, and wasn't allowed to have friends, wasn't allowed. He got angry that I was doing makeup videos on the internet. He hated that. I started doing that. Like, I had no life basically. When you're in a vulnerable spot like I was, narcissistic people look for that. But here's the kicker to that. That money that he owed the IRS wasn't real. He owed it. It was back child support for $36,000. And I got a letter. I go on the H&R, and I had no idea you could do this. I go on the website to H&R Block. He used every dime himself. It showed every transaction for like 6 months. 6 months. He never gave a dime to his mom. Me and my boys paid off his child support that he didn't owe, that he never paid that he owed, and he used whatever he wanted. It was stupid crap too. Knowing that there were times where I didn't eat, so I made sure my boys ate, And he would go eat out every day. Those weren't his kids. Those were my kids. And it didn't bother him a bit. I don't think anything has ever hurt me because I would give I gave everything. I always have. I always have done that. But to know that, and there were times where I just straight out paid his child support so he wouldn't get in trouble. And then come to find out he borrowed $500 before the next income tax. The fact that you're so good to people. And I know how Dee Dee felt with that too, because I know she probably spoiled her. And you're so good to people and you give everything and they turn around and they do that. It's the best decision I ever made in my life. And I will never feel bad for doing it. But to think that I went without, I think I'm more angry at myself that I thought that was love because I was vulnerable. I was in a really dark place and it got me out of that dark place. And I thought that he really loved me. And I think, he did love me in his own way. But it's like her kind of love. It's the only love. It's love where it's only his way or no way. Love isn't hurting somebody. You don't hurt the people you love. How do you let my kids go without? How do you take something from me like that? How do you sit and let me pay every bill while you sit and sleep all day? Anywho, enough about that. I'm telling you, I've not had the easiest life, and I've not had the best life. And when she says, and it pisses me off because they're jealous. No, Gypsy. We're angry because we've lived our life and had really rough lives. A lot of us have. We all have trauma. All of us. Most probably worse than what you're trying to lie about. And you guys know my trauma, so you already know that. And we live our lives every day, living honestly, living truthfully, trying to give the best life we can, honestly, godly, truthfully, by God's word, right? Not doing anything compared to what this girl has. And it is handed to her, and it always has been. And that's not fair to Dee Dee. That you took her life and now that you get to make more money off of her and you get to brag about it on social media, you're paying for it for your mom's murder. I can't, you guys. This is why I have the issue with Gypsy Rose's lies. Again, Ben Bella Book said that it's essentially the same exact book. It's just a paperback. So, I don't know. That's what it says. But that's my thoughts for this. What you guys think? I think that video she did months before, a lot of the videos are like that. And I saw where Carolina Girl is her name. FOIA requested the FOIA for all 200 some videos. I cannot wait till that is there. And I can't wait till she makes every video about it. And everybody says she was just a little girl when she made those. She was 23. Stop saying that. She wasn't this little 12-year-old girl. She wasn't. Okay. that's my point for tonight. I'm going to do a better video tomorrow. I just wanted to bring up these things, and I had a really long day. I'm tired. I know I always do, but we're frosting here. My chickens got attacked today, y'all. I lost my favorite chicken. I don't know what got her, but she was like the she got respect from all the other chickens, you know. She was the OG mama. She was a little silky. I only have one silky left, but something attacked him and got her. So we've had to put heaters in the, because we're in Florida. We don't, this is uncommon for Florida. And then all the other plants, as you can see, let me show you. I don't know if you could see it, but there's my palm tree and other plants, and I got some behind me over here, but and I also had to take some more plants from outside, my banana trees and all that, put those up because we're getting frost tonight. This is not common. So when I got home after getting mad, I spent the entire evening doing that, and then I had to go put the heat in on my greenhouse. Yeah, we've had a day. We've had a day. So it's been a long day. But yeah, it's just 2 days and it'll be warm again. So can't wait for that. And I'm excited to go see my mom. Well, Thanksgiving, I'm going to get my mom, and she's coming back here. She'll be here for Christmas. And I need to see her. It would be good. Because you know what, Gypsy? I love my mom. Alrighty, you guys, I will let you go. Let me know what you think. I think that this is a girl that will never change. This is her. This is her. This is her. It is ingrained in her. You know? Alrighty. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. And I'm making a post. I've missed a couple super thanks in the videos. I seen one that was 9 days old. I don't know how I missed that. So I screenshot everybody. I'm gonna post to say thank you. And then I'll shout you out in the next video. Because I have like 5 different screenshots. Because I don't know who I've already thanked and who I haven't. Yes, I'm just tired. I'm old. All right, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you like my crazy rambling, yes, I ramble. I can't help it. I'm trying not to. I just can't help it. All right. I will see you in the next video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know I'll chit chat with you. Oh God, I gotta wake my son up. Okay. Good night.